as Pip said, he spent a lot of time working on the all NBA selections, and I have as well. So let's give you guys our all NBA picks for this season. Pips is going to go first. I have a graphic here. I can't get it completely full screen, but I can do pretty close to that. So Pips has given me his selections. I'll reveal, first of all, his first team. Then I'll go through my selections, second of all. So Pips' first team, for people listening in audio, he went with Doncic, Curry, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. And I'm kind of seeing these right now here. I'm going to fill them in as we go. But for his second team, he has gone with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the guard spot. He's got him with Damian Lillard. In the forward positions, he has Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. And in the center spot, he has...
As you write this down, I'll just say that my initial, I don't know how to say it, but my elimination thing was 55 games. If you won't be able to get 55 games, I just didn't take you into account for all NBA. And that's the thing with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and one more player that didn't get enough games. Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Kawhi.
So Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker are not in here only because I personally think that no one with less than 55 games should be on LNBA team.
I was a little bit lenient, but I don't think I chose anybody under 55 games for similar reasons. I
did choose LeBron James. He has 53 games so far, but I expect him to get to the 55 with two games left.
And for Pips' third team, he has gone with Donovan Mitchell. He has gone at the guard, pairing him with De'Aaron Fox. We're going to the Sacramento Kings here. The Kings fans will be happy to see. He has him with Julius Randle on the third team. Jaren Jackson Jr. as well in the forward spot. Jaren Jackson eligible for center and forward. And he also has Anthony Davis rounding off his teams here. So those are Pips' all NBA selections here. Just repeat them for audio users. First team, Doncic, Curry, Giannis, Tatum, Embiid. Second team, he has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lillard, Butler, James, and Jokic. Third team, he has Mitchell, Fox, Randall, Jaren Jackson, and AD. So let's reveal my teams here. There is some similarities here, but we'll definitely touch on the things that we have different. So
I expect you to have Pascal Siakam on the
I actually don't have Pascal Siakam in my team. I don't think he should be all NBA this season. So let's come off here. I'll reveal the first two teams here. So first team I actually convinced myself to take Curry off my first team and put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here. And by the way, for people thinking we just threw this together, me and Pips, we both spent about 2 hours thinking this over. So we this is tough, but I went Shai on my first team with Doncic, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. So almost exactly the same as Pips, except I switched Shai and Curry. My second team does have Curry, also has Lillard, and I went with Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle, and Nikola Jokic. So again, very similar to what Pips has. And then my third team, where there's going to be some differences that we'll likely have to talk about. But my third team, I went with the same guards in Mitchell and Fox. I could not keep Lauri Markkanen off this team. I put LeBron James on my third team, and I actually went with Sabonis here. I had AD initially. At some point, I had to favor games played. For Jaren Jackson, my issue is that he played way more games than guys like LeBron. But he actually has less minutes than them because of his consistent foul issues, which I think played in a little bit. So
we can talk about it. I'll just my spent quite some time deciding between Sabonis and Davis. So that's why my third team. I spent some time deciding between these two. I went with AD being like 3 times better defensive player. In all NBA teams, I take defense into account almost like 60-40, like not 50-50, but I would say like 60-40 when making those decisions. And AD is so much better on defense that I just can't, like, their numbers, if you take closer look, are almost the same. And this is so much better on defense. So that's my thing, that why I chose to go with AD. And going with Sabonis is like just personal choice. Neither is wrong, I'll say.
Yeah.
Thing with Steph Curry, why I have him under my first team is,
I mean, I understand, but I think most people
yeah,
will.
yeah. I mean, I'm okay with Shea being there because he deserves, but I think my personally that Curry would get to 56 games with 2 games left, and with 56 games, I said that as a rule. He's over it,
Yeah.
and he is the best guard on this list. So I just can't. Like he's more sure for the first team if he gets the games than
Oh,
Luka Doncic. Like,
100%. If Curry plays like 65 games, he's on my first team. I just
yeah.
I valued Shea for his impact for his team. I mean, you could say the same for Curry and the amount of games he
Yeah,
did it.
sure. I value Shea, so that's why he's on All NBA second team.
Right. You're
Yeah,
splitting. We're
yeah,
splitting hairs
yeah,
here. I
yeah.
want to go over the omissions from this. So like players I had written down, but I really wanted to add them in, but I couldn't. I'm upset I couldn't get Anthony Davis in this team. I'm upset I could not get Bam Adebayo in this team because I think he's been pretty close to all NBA level this season. And I'm upset Jaylen Brown, I couldn't fit him in anywhere. I had Jaylen Brown in here for a while, but I was like,
My biggest issue, my biggest like my thing was spending some time between deciding De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant, Jalen Brown, Trey Young, like so many competitors for
dude,
the. I could go with just James Harden at this third team All NBA guard, and no one can say anything against it. Like
I
there
think
is
you
no
can't say
argument.
anything about any of these guys. Like
Yeah.
another one, you didn't even mention. You listed a bunch of pointers. You didn't even mention Jalen
Like,
Brunson.
and
I
also like I was between Davis and Sabonis, and like I choose Davis. So I can't have all NBA teams without Kings. And also, like, huge factor for me is that De'Aaron Fox is by far the best clutch player this season in the entire
that's what
NBA, and
got him
that's
on my
the thing for
list.
me. Yeah, that doesn't think
But
for me. He is not more efficient than a couple of guys. He's not having better numbers. Like if you compare numbers to Ja Morant, he doesn't look better, but he's more efficient and he's the leading clutch scorer. So I'll just go in with De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, I think
eh,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
De'Aaron Fox, I mean, he's shooting 51% this season. That's
Yeah,
crazy. And the three-point percentage is like low 30s, but like what put him over the top for me was how good he's been in the biggest moments this season. So
yeah,
that's why I have him here. I guess in terms of marketing, that's just probably defensive related because I know you
yeah.
wanted to
It's
have
the same thing.
Jaren Jackson.
I was actually two difficult spots for me was where 13 wins. Like for second team, I'm okay with with Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. They are, I think, safe for the second team. You can, like, you went with Julius Randle on second team. Okay, like that's a slight difference. And I was like, if you are above 55 games, I wouldn't take into account if you played 55 or 65 games.
Right.
Yeah, that was my thing, like how I
So,
approached it.
so how I approach it is, would I rather have the slightly worse player for 10 more games or the
Yeah,
slightly better player for 10 less games? So in the case of like LeBron James, I'd rather have Jimmy Butler for 67 games than LeBron James for 55 games. type of thing. I just rather have a little bit extra availability. So that's how I factored in. Everybody's going to vote differently. Everybody's going to think about this differently, but that's just the kind of the way I mean, if LeBron plays like the whole season, he's easily second team. And there's a bunch of guys who fit that category. But I mean, overall, we're pretty similar on our selections here. The Joel Embiid one, I guess it made us choose between who we think should be the MVP. I think we've just both kind of said we would probably pick Joel Embiid as the MVP here, but would love to hear any thoughts in the comments about our teams, and would love to hear if anybody has any their own sort of selections here. So somebody here mentions Jokic over Tatum, back to what meant that. Unfortunately, you cannot put Jokic at forward, so this is strict to the guidelines that the NBA has had for positions. Jaylen Brown, interestingly, could have been guard or forward, but we both didn't have space for him. But Jokic, I would put Jokic over Tatum. Unfortunately, I cannot. Colin Blockbreaks wants Siakam over Jaren Jackson. I even as a Raptors fan, I could not get Siakam in for a bit of inconsistencies and clutch.
It's okay. Like if everyone has Siakam over Jaren Jackson, it's okay. Like,
no, I agree. I don't think there's any real wrong way to make your All NBA team.
You know? Yeah, I think when you look the just offensive numbers, it's Siakam, of course. But I can't leave Defensive Player of the Year that's having good offensive season. I was a great offensive season. I just can't leave him off the All NBA third team. That's the thing with me. And Siakam, actually, his efficiency dropped a ton over the last couple of weeks. So he's now below, I think, 2 or 3% below the league average efficiency. So, like, if you are just looking at slight things, that can decide.
That played a little bit into mine as well. But there's a good amount of Sabonis love in the chat as well. And Orchard talks about SGA. It's hard to argue against Steph and Luka. I agree. I was looking over the numbers. I'm just thinking about what I've seen from this season, and it was really, really tough for me to ignore that. But like I've been saying, like Steph and Doncic makes complete sense. I don't think like Dame on first team makes sense. You could easily see that. I think the only real loss.
If you don't account the record in it, Dame could be easily maybe even first team, but second team he's a lock. So yeah,
I think the only legitimate locks are Giannis, Tatum, and then Embiid and Jokic being 1 and 2. Other than that, like I could see you going to different. I cannot envision anybody not having Giannis, Tatum, and either Embiid or Jokic on their first team.
I would say Doncic, Curry, Shea, and Lillard should be the locks for first and second team NBA. Not in any order of this, but these 4 should be in the first 2 teams. They are just that they are better than everyone else.
Yes.
These 4 are like one step out above everyone else. Like Donovan Mitchell is having a great season, but when you compare the numbers to these 4, just not. Yeah.
I agree. Showtime in chat asks if we can do all NBA award ballots. NBA awards, individual awards. That might be a good thing to do for tomorrow if you're up for that. But that'd be an interesting one to do tomorrow as the final regular season show. So definitely we can get that. It's a good suggestion there from Showtime. And Sean Glenn said it's crazy how good this listed when guys like Booker, Durant aren't even in the mix due to injury, and guys like Kawhi as well, who
Kawhi one
has been sensational.
Kawhi one is pretty sick because he's close to 50. He's for now he played I think 50 games, so he'll probably get to 52 or 53, and he'll be like so close. But if he had 55 games, I'm taking him over. Maybe even LeBron James for the second All NBA team, and then putting LeBron on the third, and Jaren Jackson is out, and I'm okay with it. But yeah, not enough games for me.
Another one is Zion. Zion was one who could have made first team if he was at all healthy this season. That's another good one there. But there you have it. Those are our All NBA teams. I'm going to post this to Twitter later if you guys want to reply with your All-NBA selections, anything you agree, disagree with here. This was a clip taken from our Pick and Roll live show, which you can catch right here on the Board YouTube channel, the NBA content division of the Hammer Betting Network, every weekday around 11:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like to catch all the live shows or for more clips just like this.